Hey everyone, so this is something a bit different for me. We are going to dive a little bit deeper into Chaz Finder. So here we go.
So your videos to this date have been different, and each one, or each, I would say, I would break them into series, and I would say that some of these series have been different, but they've all remained the same. And you have a very, I feel, overwhelming, uh, like main topic on this channel, and that main topic to me is that you are documenting nostalgia in a sense that directly relates to you, but based on your last video about the dead mall, you made it relate to more than just yourself. Is this your intention with this channel, or do you have other plans?
My intent for the channel is to bring about the emotions that we all feel for these spots. No matter where I go, and I've talked about this in some of the comments or some of the descriptions of the videos that I've done, that these spots, some may not have a direct connection to me, but there may be some that have a connection to that spot or a spot similar to that one. So the abandoned motel off I-75, that was one that I came across, and it just sparked something in me to want to film it. And I'm hoping that it was able to encapsulate something that evoked an emotion of nostalgia for some that may have stayed in a spot like that, or, whatever it may be. Like, those things to me are important because it's the memories attached to them that are important, more so than the actual spot. That's why I want to document these, and whether or not they have a direct connection to me is pretty much irrelevant. What's important is capturing them so that people can experience those emotions or experience those places again. Yeah, that's it. All right, so the thing that I can pick out here on this back porch, it's not something that has any sort of nostalgic purpose or feeling or anything like that, but the flag behind me holds significance because during a really bad hurricane, the day after the hurricane, I was driving through town, and this was in front of a storefront that had been visited by many people. It had been around. You can see that it's tattered. You can see that it's worn out. But when I was driving through town, you could see debris through the streets. You could see all kinds of stuff from the storm. It was a really bad time for our town. But as I was driving through town, I looked in the gutter and I saw this wadded up piece of fabric, and I pulled over and I grabbed it, and I found out that it was the flag from a storefront that had been blown into the gutter. And I decided that it had weathered so many things, and it had been through hell at that point, that I needed to save it, and I needed to repurpose it, and not to the point where it needed to be recycled, but put on display. Putting something like this on display, I think, represents really what I want to do with this channel, is to put the things that sometimes get neglected, sometimes get forgotten, sometimes the beauty is overlooked. And while people come and experience and come to my house and see my back porch and see the flag, they think that it's cool because of where it's hanging, and I think that it's cool. Stuff like this matters to me because this flag had been through something. This flag was left to potentially be swept up by a street sweeper and thrown away, never to be seen again, but it lives a new life. And that's kind of what I hope I can do with some of these spots that I document, whether it be a motel or a mall or whatever it may be, because the first mall that I documented doesn't exist anymore. While that space had no significance to me, there are others that had good memories in that spot. There are some families that stopped there on their way to a vacation down to Central Florida or on their way back to, the Midwest or wherever they were going. They had a memory there, and that's why I document these places. And so that place will now live on, hopefully, on the internet. And so for me, saving the flag, putting the flag on display means something to me. And so that's why this flag has a lot of sentimental value to me.
So for a channel with such a positive message that's trying to spread a feeling to other people, what's your plan from here?
Well, the content is always going to be positive because we all go through negative things in life. And something that I want to always reassure people is that there's always some sort of positive light that they can go towards. And so I know some of the topics that I've talked about in the past have been, kind of sad. I mean, the dead malls or the abandoned malls or the abandoned motels or whatever it is, I mean, can sometimes seem a little sad and dreary, but at the same time, though, those are meant to harken back to, happier times, positive times. And so I'm always going to look for the positive. I'm always going to look for the brighter side to life, because while all of us, even myself, can experience, negative times, bad times, whatever it is, we all experience it. But it's the happy times that really do push us forward. It's the positive times that push us into a spot that encourages us to be something other than ourselves. And so that's why I always want to highlight that, regardless of the subject matter. Dead malls are still happy places. Abandoned places can still be happy places as long as you put them in a light to where they harken back to a time of what their purpose truly was.